to the investor. So the benefit to the investor is that he's assured of that minimum return, but at the same time, he doesn't get to participate in the upside. So if the venture starts doing very well, he doesn't get to participate in that. And when you get this loan kind of a thing, just think of this as a bank loan. So you've already agreed on your repayment term, 5 years, 3 years, 7 years, whatever it is, and you know that this is going to be a monthly repayment or quarterly repayment. Equity is right on the opposite end of the spectrum, where you've just taken a few shares in the company and you've just got a right to participate in the profits or whatever upside the business makes, which also exposes you to the downside. As an investor, exposes you to the downside that in case the business does not do well or if it suffers losses, then you also have to participate in the losses. There is no assurance that you're going to get the returns that the business will make. And that's about it. So, the other thing which I missed out is that a loan or a debt will typically be secured against some company assets. It will have a personal guarantee from the people who are running the show. Whereas an equity will be an unsecured instrument, and it's completely up to the success of the venture to decide whether the investor gets back his money. So this is where it gets slightly more complicated when you go ahead and start raising funds as a venture. That investors would not really want to participate at either end of the spectrum. While they would be more keen to do an equity thing, but most entrepreneurs would not be happy getting an investor on an equity model, because as an entrepreneur, what I would expect is that, okay, let's say I've put only 10 lakh rupees or 20 lakh rupees in my venture, and I would want the investor to put in let's say a crore or let's say 2 crores. Now if we really look at it from a financial point of view, we get 90-95% of the funds, which as an entrepreneur I am not comfortable with, right? So I would want the investor to take a much smaller stake. Now how that happens is either he increases the implied valuation by taking let's say 50% of my stake at 2 crores valuation, which means that he's giving me a valuation of 4 crores when I'm just not even begun. So that's when they start using these varied instruments, which is either a convertible debt or a preference share. These instruments will have some aspects of both debt and equity. So talking about convertible debt is, so at the time that these instruments are given to the investor, it's pretty much like a loan. So he's promised a certain rate of interest which he's get on a periodic basis, but it is also agreed that after a certain amount of time, these same instruments, let's say I've issued 100 securities, 100 instruments to the investor for a lakh of rupees. So I've agreed with them that these 100 securities will convert into 100 shares of the company after an agreed time frame. Or it could also be that the investor puts a condition that this is I'm giving this to you as a loan and you have to repay it at such